Hey everybody, what is happening, what's going on, and welcome to a new video today from a more unusual location, because usually I try to avoid crowded areas and areas where there's people. I rather go into areas where there's like no human being, just animals. Today I'm actually testing out a little lens that TTArtisan sent to me, which is the 35 1.4 for Fujifilm, and I'm shooting it on my X-T3. It actually looks kind of funny because it's such a small tiny lens, it almost like disappears. But it is a 1.4, it's only around 70 bucks, and TTArtisan did send this to me as a gift. This does obviously not have any effect on my review. This is actually not a channel where I necessarily review gear, but I just wanted to give you my, actually initial first impressions, because I've not taken a single photo with this lens. This is brand new, so we're gonna be testing it out together. And then we're gonna go into Capture One and check out the photos, and I'll let you know all about it. And so I would say, let's go. I have to think of ways on how to utilize this lens so that it actually matches my shooting style. So I'm thinking I might actually go to the water, try to get some close-ups of maybe some like shells, or maybe even some birds, or maybe not even close-ups, but just like, I just want to take pictures of nature, guys. I don't like this. All right, let's find something fun to shoot, and let's see how the lens actually performs. After taking the first few shots, I gotta say, obviously, it's really tough to take pictures of flying birds. I guess a good way to do it is just kind of like set your focus to a certain distance. And then if you have the birds flying towards you, you pretty much just let them fly in focus. And then you hit burst once they're like in the focus range, and follow the movement of the bird. And then that way, you might be able to get a few shots that are actually in focus. I'm actually like using this lens right now probably for the purpose that it's least built for, just by my first quick impressions. This is actually a lot of fun to use, and I'm shooting right now on like f4. I feel like that's where it's also the sharpest. If you shoot it super wide open, I don't think it's you're getting anything that's really like sharp. Oh, and another thing, it has this like cute little metal lens cap, which I'm probably gonna lose. But yeah, either way, let's just keep on shooting, and hopefully we're gonna get a nice sunset, and I can actually make some good use of the f1.4 on this lens too. All right, everybody. I hope you can hear me because it's really loud. But I went under the Santa Monica Pier to have a little bit less light in order to open up the lens. And the sunset should be right over on this side, and then maybe we'll get some nice, low light coming through, some reflection on the water, stuff like that. And I'm just gonna keep on experimenting. So I figured I'm just gonna sit down a little bit after shooting for about an hour with this little guy and just talk a bit about my first impressions. So first of all, I gotta say I do like the overall build quality of it. I was surprised. I think pretty much everything on this lens is metal, which for 70 bucks, something at least that I didn't expect. Also, one thing that I noticed, that it was really hard to actually screw this on the camera. And yeah, we'll see once I try to get the lens off, but it's actually, maybe that goes just for the one that I got, but it was really, really tight. And just by looking at the images on the back of my screen, a lot of them are obviously out of focus, especially because I'm literally trying to shoot birds in flight, which is definitely not what this lens is built for at all. But still, I feel like there's some moody and nice looking shots that are definitely coming out of this. And especially if you do like some vintage film style editing, I think this could really be a lens that's like really fun. And it's almost like a stylistic, characteristic sort of lens, I feel. Like I certainly wouldn't use this for like one of my professional shoots for the kind of work that I do. But if I just like, tonight, if I just like want to go out and walk around and just have fun taking pictures, especially in low light situations, I can definitely see this being something that you would enjoy shooting with. Yeah, I hope that the pictures that I actually took confirm what I'm saying right now. Hi everybody, welcome back inside, where I just started importing the pictures that I took with this little guy, the TTArtisan 35mm f 1.4. So after importing the first couple of images that I took with this little lens, I figured, okay, I have to record an additional video like inside, because I'm actually very surprised by the images that I took in many ways, because I honestly didn't think that anything really like sharp or like useful for the work that I do was going to be coming out of this lens. I thought this is really just something to like, I don't know, just play around with and, you know, have a fun time, you know, walking around taking some pictures, but nothing like actually like doing anything really serious with it. And I still wouldn't say that, you know, I'm going to use this for like obviously my professional photography. However, I'm really surprised by the overall quality and the sharpness of this lens, because especially when I was able to actually nail the manual focusing, I was actually surprised on how far I could actually crop into these images before they become like unuseful. And especially in many cases when I was kind of just setting a focus point and I would let the birds like find focus and just hit burst, the ones that are actually in focus and sharp, like, they're really nice looking images, I think, especially if you consider that this lens once again is only around $70 US, which I don't know, like these days what can you even buy for like 70 bucks other than, I don't know, half a bag of groceries or something, at least here in LA. I mean, and also I just like playing around with it, like the little, you hear this, like I like it when the aperturing like has a nice feel to it and it clicks, and like this one it actually goes very smooth and then has this nice satisfying like click. That's nice. And once again, these are the first images I ever took with this little lens, so came in here with no expectations. I was just curious to see, okay, what kind of results can actually produce. And you know, the more I go through these pictures right now, the more I'm actually like impressed by the results, because keep in mind, this is like a very like low budget lens, like on the very low end. So that's just another example. You can really, you know, get inexpensive gear and still get pretty nice results with it. So you don't always have to get the $2,500 lens or whatever, you know. I think a lot of people are using gear as an excuse not to go out and create. Literally pick up one of these lenses. I think they also have like a 50mm f2, which I also have here, and I haven't shot with it at all. And I'm gonna do another review on that. And I think the 50 f2 is actually even cheaper than this one. I'm not sure, I have to double check, but like I'm actually excited to try that one out. But obviously, especially if you're taking pictures against the sunlight, you're dealing with some strong chromatic aberration. And I can also see it here once I zoom in, like especially around the edges. It doesn't look amazing, but then what are the kind of expectations you're going in for the images that you're shooting if you're dealing with a lens that's this inexpensive? If you're a person that doesn't necessarily care too much about sharpness and looking at every little pixel, if for you it's more, taking pictures more about the experience, it's more about creating a certain vibe, I think this lens is actually exactly for you. Because even if I look at my like bird shots or something and they're slightly out of focus, you know, when I edit them and I put like sort of a little bit of a grain, you know, additional grain on it, and maybe add some vignetting and just make it look kind of like vintage film-ish, I think this is actually kind of like the kind of lens you want, you know, because it just sort of adds to that feel, it adds to that mood. This might not be for you if you're planning on like printing your work or doing like scaling it up like crazy, but if it's mostly for you know, online or content, social media, or you know, just for yourself, I think you're actually gonna love this. And I think it works very well for a certain style of photography. I am by no means like a street photographer or anything. I really just do like adventure and especially wildlife content. Like that's what I love doing. So it was really interesting for me to utilize this lens for my personal, you know, style of shooting, which is definitely not what this lens is designed for. However, considering all that, it worked out extremely well. And honestly guys, that's it for my little review on this lens. Don't really have a lot else to say. If you like this review, however, and once again, this is not really a review channel, I still have to kind of figure out what this channel is in the, you know, anyways. For me, it's honestly, it's all about building a community. Like I want to share my personal experience that I've gathered over years and years of working in the field. And at the same time, I want to like meet you guys, and I want to build like a really cool and amazing community of people that share the same goal, that share the same passion, yeah, so let's just, you know, all connect, build an amazing community of like-minded people, of people that want to go out, create, share the same passion. That's really what I, you know, want to use this channel for. But if you did like this video, let me know, and I'll make one on the 50 f2 as well. Anyways, guys, see you in the next video. Take care and bye-bye.